Hey guys, welcome back. Unfortunately today we have to take a dark turn, and I have to share a hard truth with a lot of you. It's going to be hard for you, but sometimes you just have to speak truth to power and let the truth go where it does. So today we're going to look at the dark underbelly of the Magic world and stare right in the face of something that many of us would never want to have to think about. The fact that our favorite card game, the thing that has brought us so much joy and happiness throughout time, Magic the Gathering, is a racist card game. Now that's a bold accusation, so I'm going to need bold proof. So, let's dig right in, shall we? I think the place we have to start is by looking at some of the most iconic cards in two particular colors. But before we get there, first I have to point out the obvious. Magic is a game about colors. That's right. All Magic really cares about are colors. And yeah, while from time to time there's really powerful cards that are colorless, they only stand out as special because they don't have color, because the game is so concerned with colors. So, Magic is the opposite of a colorblind world. And the two colors I think we should most relevantly focus on are black and white. So, what is the most iconic white card you can conjure up in your mind? It's gotta be Serra Angel. The most iconic white card of all time. Majestic, holy, righteous, encompassing everything good and decent. The good guys, if you will. So what's the most iconic black card? Well, I think that one's probably going to be a no-brainer go-to with Demonic Tutor. That's right. Dark, evil, insidious. It's actually literally a picture of a demon holding some book with red arcane scribblings that try to indicate it's some kind of dark occult or satanic book. And it looks like there's a circle with maybe like a pentagram or something on this demon guy with demon horns forehead. That's right. The most darkest and dankest image possible to contrast dark, blackness, evil, all over this color black. Now black didn't have to be the bad guy color. And if you ask the creators of Magic, they'll say, oh, well, black's not really the bad guys. I mean, they're not really bad. It's, you know, they just... But then you get all this thematic imagery of stuff like Demonic Tutor, right? And they'll try to act like, you know, they're not really evoking anything here, but they're drawing on a very natural imagery of evil. Whereas with white, they're drawing on imageries of goodness and righteous warriors and stuff like that. But let's not stop there. Let's look at another series of iconic cards. Let's look at Circle of Protection. That's right. There's been a lot of Circles of Protection. And most notably, I'd like to point you to Circle of Protection Black. A card that's been reprinted many, many times. Now, when we look at MTG Goldfish, we can find that this card was printed in Beta, Unlimited, Revised, 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition, 7th edition, 8th edition, 9th edition, Ice Age, and Tempest. Circle of Protection Black is a card that's been printed numerous times, over and over, reinforcing one continuous theme, namely, that white needs to be protected from black. Now, other people will say, yeah, but I mean, there's also like Circle of Protection Red. I mean, does that really make it any better? White needs to be protected from all the reds out there? Suddenly this game's not racist? Yeah, I don't think so. But other people might be like, well, there's also Circle of Protection Blue, and I mean, like, there's Circle of Protection Green. Okay, first of all, nobody even uses those. People completely forget that Circle of Protection Blue and Circle of Protection Green even exist. Secondarily, white still pretty much feels like it needs to be protected against all the other colors. It needs a safe space, if you will. Now, the last argument that somebody's going to point out is, well, I mean, there's Circle of Protection White. I mean, come on, that's got to mean something. But you got to remember a couple of important things here. Notice who gets the Circles of Protection. Notice who gets the cards to specifically protect them from the other colors. White. That's right. White needs to be protected from the other colors. Does black get to have Circle of protection white? No. No, it doesn't. White gets to have circle of protection white. And why? Well, it's pretty obvious if you think about it. Certain classes of whites sometimes need to be protected from certain other lower classes of whites. You see, the whites are very selective sometimes. Sometimes not only do they want to be protected from all the other colors, they even want to be protected from some of the lower level whites as well. Because, you know, they wouldn't want to get contaminated with those lower level whites. So there you have it. You got all these other colors that white needs to, and I quote, protect itself from. But notice how green and blue and black and red, they don't get to have circles of protection from white. I mean, don't you think from time to time, you know, maybe red needs to protect itself against white? Yeah, you know, that might be necessary. But no, only white gets to have protection. But it doesn't stop there. No, look what happens when you look up the White Knight, right? Something as basic as the White Knight. Now, first of all, as cheesy as it is, there's literally a card called White Knight, evoking all the classic cliche imagery of a white knight, the typical caricature hero of the story. And look at the flavor text on the White Knight. Out of the blackness and stench of the engulfing swamp emerged a shimmering figure. Only the splattered armor and ichor-stained sword hinted at the unfathomable evil the knight had just laid waste. I mean, notice how they set this thing up. Out of the blackness? Oh, okay, yeah, because when you want to evoke the bad guys, you got to start out with out of the blackness. And then the stench of the engulfing swamp, because, you know, swamp is the mana base for the black color. So we're talking about the stinky black color. So bad guys, stinky, black, white, good, awesome, righteous warrior. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Black Knight. It's kind of sketchy, it's kind of dank. I mean, it's not pretty or beautiful or anything. It's like there's like some vines that are like dying. There's no grass or leaves or anything. It's just this, scary looking dude, kind of dark. And if we look around here a little bit, see if I can find maybe. Okay, here we go. Here's the equivalent Black Knight version from the same art set era. And the flavor text is, the chill to him who breathed it drew down with his blood till all his heart was cold. I mean, I don't even know what that is. It's just like some dark kind of like I'm a badass kind of stuff, I guess. But it's not even really I'm a badass. It's just kind of old lame poetry that doesn't really do much for you. Unlike the White Knight, when good men die, their goodness does not perish, but lives though they are gone. I mean, it's like White Knight here is like, yeah, goodness. Yeah, they literally put goodness in the flavor text, just so you don't get confused who the good guys are. Whereas Black Knight, it's just chill, blood, heart, cold, basically serial killer stuff. Put some serial killer kind of evocative language in there. And this goes on and on and on. I mean, the deeper you dig, the more clearly I think you will find that there is reference after reference after reference to white being righteous and good and, all this kind of stuff. And black is like, oh, it's like evil and the bad guys. So, I know this is probably something that's not going to be easy for a lot of you to accept, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. And I know Wizards of the Coast tries to be a progressive company, but I mean, even though they're trying to be progressive, I mean, that doesn't undermine the facts here. Sometimes individuals with the best intentions still go on to reinforce these societal norms that carry on and go from real in-your-face racism all the way down to micro-racism. So I know for a fact that PC Principle would in no way approve of any of this, so I don't know why we should. I think we just need to all step up and acknowledge the truth, but because if there's going to be any change here, if we're going to start getting some black cards that are the good guys and some white cards that are obviously dank and evil and start to even out the balance, we're going to have to speak up and let Wizards know that we see what's going on here and we're not going to tolerate it. Alright, thanks a bunch, guys. I know this wasn't an easy one, but with your support we can affect a change. Thank you.